every single time it was different. And we must have done it 50 times because everyone in the room was like, there's no way he can do it differently.
Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man wants. There's something about the role that just demands a lot of improv. Check out these improvised scenes from all of your favorite Spidey movies. Number 1, when the tears come streaming down your face, with laughter because of this confusing moment. Seen No Way Home or haven't seen it, this isn't much of a spoiler, it's talked about in the trailer. Turns out Alfred Molina confused the heck out of Tom Holland with this one.
I am so confused right now.
There's a line where I say, I think I can fix you. And then he goes, fixed? Like a dog? Because every time he said it, I was like, why does he keep ad-libbing this line about fixing dogs?
Why this confused Tom so much is that they don't use that phrase in England.
He was confused about the snipping. He was like, why does he keep doing this?
Number 2, we wonder if Tom still has the video on his phone. Tom Holland and his brother, Harry, improvised a fight scene for Far From Home. The scene where Tom is banging into the bell came from the genius of the Holland family.
And when I say we pre-vised it, we shot it on my phone.
And director John Watts liked it so much, they kept it in the final film.
Banging into the thing and then sliding and then banging into it again.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Number 3, the costume looks great for the costume party. Imagine being Jacob Batalon and not being told what you're about to walk in on. And then it turns out it's a half-naked Spider-Man, or should we say Night Monkey, and MJ trying to sneak a peek. That's exactly what Batalon dealt with when he improvised this moment in Far From Home. That's a lot to process all of a sudden. Number 4, never meet your heroes. They'll only disappoint you. That's how Peter Parker felt when he thought Tony Stark was leaning in for a hug, but turns out he was just trying to get the door for the kid. Did you know this moment was improvised by Tom Holland?
I think I just tried to hug him. I just thought it would be funny if I hugged him.
Sure you did, Tom. Good cover story. Number 5. Up, and wrong universe, Toby. The internet really spun those Toby Maquire memes out of control for a bit there, huh?
Go Web!
Did you know pretty much this entire scene was improvised? If you can recall, he uses Superman's famous catchphrase,
Up and away, Web!
and Shazam's.
Shazam!
Number 6. 3 more movies. While the first hug shared between Peter and Tony was insanely awkward, the last one before Peter Parker blipped was totally heartbreaking. Holland's
I don't want to go.
was improvised. Well, sort of.
So it's not that amazing of an ad-lib.
But it kind of is, because Tom Holland has said that he will repeat his lines in his head to bring up emotion. And you know how we said sort of? Well, he did improvise it during one take, but that isn't the take they went with. It sparked a great idea, though.
And then we reworked the scene, and then this was born.
Number 7. Daily Bugle reports J.K. Simmons casted to play Spider-Man in Reboot. Here's a personal favorite improv moment. What we love about this deleted scene is it's very telling of a deeper side of J.K. Simmons' character. He doesn't really hate Spidey, he just loves drama. He sells drama. He loves Spider-Man because Spider-Man makes him money. And is there perhaps an element of jealousy in there too? Number 8. Somebody needs to wash his mouth out with soap. Samuel L. Jackson's hilarious moment of improvisation was so great it ended up in the trailer for Far From Home.
Please, you've been to space.
Which is a bit surprising given that he swears in it, but it's totally hilarious and sometimes you just need somebody to be real with you. Number 9. Sorry for reminding you. Remember the day your childhood was ruined, when you learned what a pelvic thrust was? Yeah, we do too, in great detail thanks to Toby Maquire. He was always totally aware that the intention of the scene was for the symbiote to make him think he's cool while he's actually acting like a total dork. And so, on the day of filming, he gifted the world with a memory we'd rather forget. And turns out, this scene is actually one of the only symbiote scenes director Raimi liked filming, because he didn't even want to include Venom in the 3rd installment. Number 10. Everything is riding up. This scene in the elevator happened over about 25 takes. If the whole scene seems awkward,
It rides up in the crotch a little bit too.
That's because it is. The actors weren't given any lines to say, and they had to improvise their way through the thing. Never meet your heroes, kids. It only disappoints. Or think more like MJ. If you expect disappointment, then you can never really be disappointed. Although, many MCU actors have gone on record to say their costumes are super uncomfortable. So these two really nailed the actor's life experience. Number 11. Maybe not in front of her family, dude? Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were more than an on-screen couple during their time shooting the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Their on-screen chemistry is undeniable in this moment where Peter Parker plants one on Gwen Stacy in front of the whole crowd. Well, that smooch was totally improvised. Did you find that same look of surprise on your face that Aunt May had on hers? Because we totally did. Number 12. Marisa Tomei and Tom Holland's relationship really developed quite naturally, and this version of Aunt May is probably the most underrated character in all of the MCU.
I love you.
Aunt May is hilarious, and so is Marisa Tomei, because she improvised that entire scene in the Thai restaurant.
It's too larby? Not larby enough.
We could always do with an extended cut of larb. Number 13, and we don't mean Ruffalo. If you didn't already have an insane amount of respect for RDJ before, you will now. He was really looking out for the new guy, aka Tom Holland, after he missed his mark. Instead of calling cut, RDJ went full pro actor on the noob, and graciously improvised this line.
I'm gonna sit here so you move the leg.
Tom Holland is no noob anymore though, and has really swung into his own, but the dynamic between the two is just so genuine. And Robert Downey Jr. knew he could trust Holland to follow along, since he threw him some curveballs at the audition.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Avengers.
Number 14. The Spidey suit is for stopping petty crime, not to escape in spaceships. Didn't you know that? One of our favorite things about Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland is their ability to improvise off of each other. And RDJ has spent so much time as Stark, basically being the character IRL, that the improv comes so naturally to him.
I'm back up.
No, you're a stowaway. The adults are talking.
Number 15. Improv is an important skill for all of the Spider-Man actors. The cast shot this scene at the iconic London Tower again and again because their improvising skills were on fire. We can only imagine what hilarity the other shots held. We would love to see that, but we trust that the editors picked the best moments. Number 16. Wrong universe, Keaton. Unfortunately, this awesome bit got cut. Tom Holland said that Michael Keaton made a reference to one of his past characters. When Vulture wondered why Spider-Man would save him, Peter Parker said, "Because I'm Spider-Man," and Keaton supposedly ad-libbed,
I'm Batman.
Number 17. We only wish Mysterio was good. Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal immediately had a special bond on set, which led to some major paranoia for Tom. A lot of the script got changed to make Mysterio softer by the will of Holland and Gyllenhaal, which made Mysterio's ultimate betrayal even more shocking. Jake has a bit of a reputation for being a method actor.
I got really worried that he was just being my friend because he's a method actor.
And then at some point he was gonna switch.
And they were concerned that after the movie was over that he'd just be awful. Number 18, our favorite on-screen couple. Jacob Batalon and Angary Rice mostly created their on-screen relationship together. They had a lot of space for improv. How cool would it be to be able to basically create your own character for a movie? Especially when your character is the comedic relief. Honestly, these scenes must have been some of the most fun to film. Number 19, stay out of my room, Dad. This hilarious scene when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man comes through the window into Gwen Stacy's room got the best improvised moment. What we love about it is how much the scene feels like hiding your intimacy with your boyfriend from your dad. When he offers her hot cocoa and recalls her fantasy to be to live in a chocolate house, she says,
"Well, that's impractical. And fattening."
The double door slam is what gets us. Number 20. We're not really sure the resemblance between these two, but we won't argue with Stan. Poor Stan Lee was kept on such a tight leash for this scene. He was forced to stay silent, despite wanting to say, "Oh, Dostoevsky. He's like the Russian Stan Lee." If you don't know who that is, he wrote Crime and Punishment, which really isn't comic-like at all. The horror and gothic elements to the story really keep it out of the realm of superheroes saving the day. And that's 20 of our favorite improvised moments from Spider-Man. Have you heard of anything more from No Way Home? Marisa Tomei has said a lot of her scenes with Jon Favreau were improvised too, but we have yet to find out what those moments were. What's your favorite improvised moment from the movies? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.